Hello, Facebook Live. Marcus here.
Jamie.
And Jamie. Jamie's at her desk. I'm at my desk. I'm not too often at my desk because I'm usually in the restaurant, but I'm here at my desk. My bookshelf back there, some wines. So I'm in my desk. So, quick Facebook Live here. Good morning, everybody who's tuning on. Appreciate it. And I've got some exciting news for some beer drinkers today. Uh, Yesterday's Facebook Live, I was talking about how I was going through the wine list and slashing prices and consolidating things and just our philosophy on wine and super exciting. Now, this morning, I've been working for the last few hours on our beer list. If you're a beer fan, you've seen our beer list. It is also the other half of that binder. Is that binder handy, Jamie?
There's one over there, but not there.
So there's literally as many beers. We have as literally as many beers as we have wines. A lot of the beers that I bought over the years are beers that are ageable, because a lot of beers you want to drink fresh. Same thing with wine. A lot of wine you want to consume within a couple of years of it being produced. A lot of wine's not designed to age. That is one of the misconceptions. There's certain wines that age beautifully, but that's not all the wines. Same thing with beer. There's certain beers that age beautifully, that improve and just are amazing and round out. And even after 5 years, 10 years, 15 years, we have one bottle from Unibrew that they say you can age for 25 to 30 years. It's a 2009 vintage right now. So we're 10 years into the 25 years on that, and I hope that we can save one or two bottles to go the distance. I bought like tons and tons of cases of that beer to be able to last. So, going through the beer list today, I've consolidated that's 16 pages of beer to, again, 1 page of beer. But as I'm going through here, there's so many amazing beers that we have. So, 2016 Old Ruffian barrel aged. This is one of my favorite beers of all time. I have 2 bottles of this left. 2015 Moinet, Brasserie DuPont Moinet. That is their Brune. Literally literally for several years, this was my go-to, one of my favorites. We sold a lot of this beer at one point. Three Philosophers. Oh, again, these are the old labels. This is a 2007. 2007. This beer is 13 years old. These beers are drinking amazing right now. Ode Brunello, which is Brunello barrel-aged stout or porter. So a lot of the beers that we have in the bottles are barrel-aged, which actually needs a good year to sit in the bottle to at least settle down the alcohol and let the alcohol fade off of the whiskey and the bourbon barrels. So how would you feel if we started doing a beer event like we do our wine events? So we do a wine event every other week. Every other Monday night we do a wine event that is basically 4 wines and a dish, $25. How would you feel if we started doing a beer event like that? 4 beers, and we'd open up some of these really awesome beers. 4 beers and a dish for $25 or around that price. How would you feel if we started doing that? I feel like we've been neglecting our beer fans. So Cheryl's saying yes. Good morning, Cheryl. Good morning, Dave. So thinking about doing some more beer events and letting everybody else start enjoying all these amazing beers. We literally have some beers on our list that go up to $65 a bottle. We have a few that are 95 and 105 a bottle and 115 a bottle. I want to be able to start opening these beers and enjoying some of these beers. And these average of these beers are like $30 a bottle, $35 a bottle, $40 a bottle. So that's retail on our list. These will be now making its way into the grocery store as well. So when you walk into the restaurant, you see all the wines and you see all the spirits. All of a sudden, we're going to start mixing in some of these beers so you can buy these at the retail price to take home and enjoy. So if you saw the storeroom and how many beers we have here, it's pretty insane. Yesterday I was talking about how at one point we had up to the high 40,000s, almost $50,000 in monthly inventory that we were holding here. And as we diminish that number and get better buying power and quantities of buying things, we'll be able to lower our prices across the board, which has been great, especially with our wines. We've been experiencing that during COVID. We've been buying large quantities or larger quantities. So I have to actually get going here in a couple of minutes. I have an appointment, but just to reiterate how New York State works. New York State works, and a lot of states work like this. When you buy something, especially wine, really wine and booze, there's something that's called frontline pricing, and there's called the drops or the deals. So, for example, if we buy one bottle of a wine, and it's $12, if they do a split charge, which most companies do split charges of $2 a bottle, sometimes a little more, sometimes a little less. So that $12 bottle goes to $14. If you buy one bottle, two bottles, three bottles, four bottles, you buy the case of 12, it's $12 a bottle. So you've already saved $2 a bottle. If you buy 3 cases, it might drop to 10 or 11.33. If you buy 5 cases, it might drop to 10 or 9.33, or it might even go as low as $8 a case on 10 cases. Well, if you look at the numbers on that, literally for every 5 cases you buy, sometimes you get a case for free, or 10 cases, you get 2 cases for free. That's typically how a lot of this stuff works. So a small restaurant like myself has 200 wines. We're not buying 10 cases of this wine, 10 cases of every wine, just get 2 cases of free. Now we're buying 3 bottles. So we pay the maximum amount. So we've tried to switch that over and shorten the list down to be able to do that. Now, we recently did that with our beers. If you notice that our beers on draft have dropped in price because we're not running as many tap lines now. We used to run 11 tap lines. And to keep the beer fresh, you'd have to buy small kegs, sixtels. Sixtels, which is a 5-gallon keg versus a 15-gallon keg, they run a lot more per ounce, sometimes 30%, 40% more per ounce. So our IPAs were always these sixtels, and we're always turning over these 5-gallon kegs every week. So, for example, a 5-gallon keg might cost you $100, and a 15-gallon keg might cost you $200. It's 3 times the amount of beer for twice the price, or it's a 5-gallon versus 15. So see that difference? So it's a lot less per ounce. So we've switched our tap lines. That's why we're not running 11 taps anymore. We're running 7 taps, so we can buy larger kegs, get the discount, and then pass the discount on to you. That's why we've been pouring Sloop Juice Bomb all summer long, and we're going to plan on keep going with this for $5 a pint. And that's why we do our happy hour every day for half price draft beers to go. Literally every single day, half price that we're open, you can come in, get your food, and get a half price draft beer to go. And a lot of people take us up on that offer. So that is the reason why, because we've shortened our inventory, taken advantage of buying a larger keg, larger quantities, and not running as many tap lines. The beer is fresh, you're getting a discount, everybody's happy, so it's a really win-win situation. So stay tuned for a lot more beer things coming up. We'll send out an email. Our next wine event is next Monday. It is next Monday, and it is Spanish wines. It is Spanish wines, a recap of some of the wines that we did on our Spanish tour. We have a great Tempranillo in there, coming from one of the only 3 wineries in the world that is approved by the Vatican. So the Vatican contracts 3 wineries to produce the wine for them, and 2 of them are in Italy and 1 is in Spain, and this is one of the wines that we're serving. A really amazing white wine, and it's just, we have some really awesome Spanish wines. We have a lot of Italian focus on our wine list, but Spain is one of our strong points as well. And at this point, I think I have a little too many Tempranillos going into inventory, so maybe we can drink a lot of Tempranillo that night that we do the wine event. So that's next week. We're going to be switching the wine events to inside the building. We've previously been doing them outside. You'll still have your own table, not like previous where you'd sit all at a communal table. You're going to have your own table, and it'll be inside. Unless the weather's great, then we'll be doing it outside. But from this point forward, we're probably going to plan on doing a lot more things inside, obviously, for obvious reasons. Our tent will stay up as long as we can possibly keep up our tent, but that really is only maybe another month or so, and then we will actually fully be transitioned to inside. So people are still sitting outside. They want to sit outside. We bought a bunch of fleece blankets for everybody to use. If you want to use a fleece blanket, we have fleece blankets. If not, bring your own blanket. All the tables have little mini heaters on them. If not, they don't have the big heaters; they have the mini heaters. So I think almost every single table outside has some kind of heat source. Either you're next to the fireplace, you have a large patio heater, or a tabletop tabletop heater. So we'll ride that out as long as possible. And we'll be back on Thursday. We're closed Tuesday, closed Wednesday. Back on Thursday with our $9.99 burger deal to go. We have stopped doing our birthday offers, our traditional mail out birthday offers, just because we're trying to save money everywhere we can right now, because we're really not sure. We used to have 18 tables inside. Once we're only inside, we're only going to have 6 tables, basically 6 tables. That's it. So we're now hoping and preparing for the best. So, from going to, I mean, literally we had like 11, 12 tables outside. So we're going to be downsizing by half when we're only eating inside. So we're just trying to really watch what we're spending on our cost. One thing that I wanted to talk to everybody about was if we should cancel our Green Restaurant Association membership. It costs us $1,200 a year to be a member of the Green Restaurant Association, have them audit us and give us the seal of approval. We've been paying that since 2008, the $1,200 a year. Do the math, it adds up. We're not going to stop being green. We would never stop being green, because that's like on one of our previous videos I talked about. That's just our DNA. That's how Jamie and I are wired. That's what wires us to purchase things, is to buy things that are eco-friendly, things that are green, things that are for the environment, things that have that good feeling. So by no means would we actually change what we're doing. We just wouldn't be listed on the dinegreen.com website and be saving $100 a month, $1,200 a year, which, when that adds up, that's 3 car payments, right? So that's all of our car payment all winter long, right, for the 3 winter months. So there's other things that I'm canceling as well. We're just trying to go through everything and make sure that, $15 here. We're canceling Untapped for beer, so we won't be on Untapped anymore. That is $42 a month to be on Untapped. So again, Jamie and I are just being very, very conscious and trying to cut costs where we can to not affect the quality of the food or the service, because that we would never ever want to cut that. Hopefully we'll never have to cut that. So we're just trying to be creative and look through everything line item by line item in our accounting program to see what's feasible that we can keep going on with. So everybody, thanks for tuning in this morning. I appreciate it. Like I said, I have a phone call here in a minute, an appointment here in a minute, just waiting for them to text me. And that's it, folks. Good morning, everybody who's tuning in. Dave, Cheryl, John, thanks for commenting. Anybody else who was on, really appreciate the support. And we'll see you soon. Talk to you later.